Hey guys! So I had originally planned to put out another video before this, but with work and all I just haven't had time to edit yet. But I came to the conclusion that when you're seeing this on the 1st of October, that's my diaversary. I am officially a diabetic for 10 years. And it's been a wild ride. So in that vein, I thought I would tell you my diagnosis story as kind of the next installment in my kind of diabetes content. So, first of all, it's film vlog style because I don't want to have to set up a tripod because, like, I have to find it at somewhere in my room, and it's just going to be hopefully a quick video, so my arm hopefully won't get too tired. So I was diagnosed when I was 10, almost 11. I was like 3 months away from being 11, so that was like close enough. In 2009. So I just kind of started a new school, and for the first month I was starting to drink more water. Like, my mum could put down a 2 litre bottle of Diet Coke or something in front of me. It would be gone by the time she turned back around. I was that thirsty. I started losing weight. I was irritable all the time. I was tired all the time, which, looking back, they are all symptoms for diabetes. Those are all your common symptoms for diabetes, and I will cover those more in another video. But I went to doctors about it, and they and mum kind of put it down as me starting a new school, and I was just adapting to getting up earlier and all that jazz. And it was actually diabetes, which we didn't know. So I then, I was starting, because my body essentially was going into DKA at that point. It was diabetic ketoacidosis, which is when I think it's your liver shuts down, and, well, not your liver shuts down, it's like your body kind of starts releasing ketones and starts attacking your body and burning up the fat reserves in your body in order to kind of produce enough glucose and insulin to kind of keep you alive and all. So that process was started, which was making me more tired and more exhausted, and I started getting a rash. I'm not going to tell you where, it was something about, I got one, okay, I'm going to tell you. I got a rash on my legs, which was really painful, was really stopped me from walking comfortably, and I went down to the chemist, which was newly opened because we had to fight to get a chemist in my village, and I went down, and thank God for that chemist, because I can say it it saved my life, because we went down to the chemist and they just refused to prescribe a steroid cream, which I would have needed for that rash. Instead they said, go to the doctors and they'll do it. So we went to A&E, and, well, we originally went to Westdock, but you can't really go to Westdock unless you have an appointment, apparently. And because this had just happened, we didn't have an appointment, even though we were standing out the door. They were on the phone to us while we were standing outside, waving in, going hi, let us in. So then we went to A&E. I was taken in, my bloods were checked, and I was so high my blood sugar wasn't reading on a monitor. That's how high it is. So for a bit of yikes. So for a bit of context, a normal blood sugar is between 4 and 7, minimals. So the amount of glucose in your blood per moles, for those chemistry nerds, I can't remember properly. But mine wasn't reading, and a monitor generally reads above 33 point something on a monitor. So if it was so high it wasn't reading, you can tell the amount of damage it was starting to do to my body. And apparently the only reason I wasn't unconscious or in a coma at that point was because my brain was so hyperactive it was keeping me awake. So thank God for my hyperactive tendencies, I guess. So then I was admitted to the hospital, and kind of like I waited around for like 5 hours before they actually like properly admitted me, because I was taken into a room, I was asked my family history, my name and all that about like 6 or 7 different times. I don't get why they couldn't have just asked the previous nurse that just took my family history for the family history, but here we go. And they got bloods taken, tested away, and then they were like, hey, you have diabetes, welcome to your new life. So I was admitted to hospital. I stayed there for a week where I went under more tests. I learned how to give myself injections. I learned how to kind of like check my blood sugars and all. And that was really a start to my new life as a diabetic. And it was terrifying because by the time I went back to school, I still hadn't had a low blood sugar yet, which meant I didn't know how to deal with it. And I was away from school for 2 weeks, I think. 1 week in hospital and then 1 week while the school started getting ready to like accept me back in and make provisions and draw up my diabetes plan, like my hypotreat actions and all that. And so the hospital could get in contact with the school and help me out. And it was a lot to take in, but luckily I've kind of always been positive with my condition. And everyone was like remarking on it, and I was just like, it's kind of like tripping over a stone. Like, you're not going to just lie there and feel sorry for yourself. I had to get up and deal with it because I had to live with it, and me just feeling sorry for myself wasn't going to fix anything. Like, at the end of the day, I was still going to be diabetic, so I might as well start learning how to do it as fast as possible. So the funny thing is like, when you're in hospital, like, for some reason, everyone brings you bananas. And looking back, bananas are the worst. They're like 28 grams of carbs per banana. And I got like multiple bunches of them from my family members because apparently that's what you bring people in hospital. And for a while, I had a vendetta against bananas. Like, don't bring me bananas at that point. Now, fine. Bananas are fine now. But when I was like 10, 11... I didn't want to see another banana for at least 3 years. The thing is, there was like this checklist to like kind of release me from the hospital into my mother's care. Regardless of the fact that my mum was a nurse for 20 years and worked in neurosurgery and all, she still had to tick off the she can inject me. The thing is, I'm pretty sure my mother knows how to inject people. Like, she was a nurse. And the thing is, they taught me how to do like the emergency injection in case I fell unconscious, which was useless because I was going to be the one unconscious and needing it. But after like a week, because they like the way it worked was my mum's a single mum, and when I was diagnosed, there was also my little brother in, like, my siblings were still in school, so mum would stay with, like, would go home in the morning at around like 6 in the morning to get my siblings off to school. After that happened, she'd come back in at maybe like 9 o'clock to sit with me again, and then my sister would come over from school and sit with me while my mum went home and checked in on the rest of my family, made dinner, then come back in, and they'd swap over and my mum would stay with me until 6 a.m. the next morning. My mum lived at the hospital with me for that entire time, which I'm grateful for because I couldn't have dealt with it on my own. But because of the timings that she left in, the hospital seemed to choose those exact moments when my mum wasn't there to give me my injections or to like get me to do them, which meant that my mum wasn't given the chance to actually show that she could inject me. And I remember just like sitting in the play area and my mum like kind of arguing with a nurse going, I think if my child needed it I could inject her. And luckily at that point I had a high blood sugar, so I kind of like shuffled over to my mum. I was like, hey mum. And she's like, Holly, let the adults talk. And I'm like, no, this helps you. I've got a high blood sugar, I need it. I need injected to treat. So mum injects me, I'm allowed to go home, and I have to start figuring out school. And that's actually going to be a story for another day, because I have quite a few like low blood sugar stories and all, but I want to save them for another video when it's a bit more planned out instead of this ramble that I'm giving right now, because it is 10:15 at night. I need to go to bed in like an hour so I can get up for work tomorrow, and I want to make sure this is edited and uploaded on my Diaversary. So yeah, 10 years of diabetes and I'm still here. So I take that as a huge success, because there's been a few times where I didn't think I was going to make it this far, so life's rosy. So obviously there's going to be more videos like this. Make sure to click that subscribe button. Make sure to click the like button, share it. I'd really appreciate it, because I'm trying to like bring a bit more awareness and make type 1 diabetes a bit more visible. So share it amongst your friends, click like, ring the wee bell icon to hear more from me, and I will see you all next week for the next video. Bye!